Alright, it's time once again for another late night Pokopia stream. Probably going to be doing this for quite a while. Look at me streaming 2 nights in a row. Going to be a new mark of consistency for me because we're going to be doing this tomorrow night again for sure. I did a little bit of work on the town off stream today. Mostly just a little more detail work on that bridge. I built this complex in front of the fountain and started work on something that we're going to finish up on stream today. In the meantime, let me just get to a high vantage point where we can hang out and look at what we have of the town so far while we wait for a couple people to show up. After we get up there, I'm going to put the stream link in a couple of places and see if we can't get a couple of viewers going. I'm just still enjoying this game so much. I'm not running out of ideas. I'm not running out of enjoyment playing it. It's gotten maybe like 1% less fun than it was when I started, and that's just simply because any game's newness factor is going to wear off once you've discovered a lot of the stuff. But this game still keeps throwing things at me that I'm discovering, so that's really neat. So give me just a second here. Probably going to be quiet for a second while I find my link here and put it in a couple of Discords real quick. All right. Sorry, just looking for the right place to put this. All right, let me get my chat back up. So yeah, this plaza, I'm not done detailing it yet. I'm also not 100% happy with every decision that I've made with it. I'm not sure that I like the location of this tree, or that the bench layouts are correct, or that the approach from down here is correct. I also don't think that I like it being boxed in by planters on both sides. These planters make sense. What do you want, Drifloom? Oh, what do you got for me? Sticks? Oh, carrot. I'll take that, actually. All right. I like them across there, but one thing I'm thinking about that we might just try real quick since we're playing now is that. I'm not sure. I'll think on it. I'm not sure that I like how it breaks up the planter. But over here, I do have an idea that I might want square hedges. But rather than growing them from seeds, I'm going to see about 3D printing them. So we'll pop up here and snap a photo of the square hedges. No, not habitat decks. Camera, please. Take pictures, okay. All right, we've got our photo. Now we go to the Poke Center. I'm also not sure how I'm doing on Pokemetal. I know in general, for some of the stuff we're going to be building tonight, I'm going to need to go grind some Pokemetal. So we'll head off to Dream Island before long and mine some of that. All right, Blastoise, I think I already decided I don't need your stuff today. Just want to know, what does a square plant cost? 4. It's most of the rest of my Pokemetal. But even if I don't like these square plants where I'm thinking about putting them, there are other places in town that I need square plants, so we'll definitely do that. I just really love what I've already done. Like, now that I'm starting to build up the town, when I'm on stream, I try to actually be doing stuff, but when I'm playing on my own time, I spend as much time just looking at what I've built as I do actually building, which is not the most productive use of my time, but also, like, what am I playing this game for if not my own enjoyment, you know? Finding this late night streaming to work out really well, though. It's a little bit easier to break through on the algorithm once you've been going for a good number of minutes. They kind of just start to populate viewers into your stream, which I appreciate. All right, so we were looking about replacing those planters with square hedge and see what that looks like. Would it make sense to match it? Yeah, that actually... No, I'm really gonna have to think on that. I'm not sure that it so much looks like hedges with the brick underneath it, or if it looks like the brick is being overgrown. I think it looks more like the brick is being overgrown, which is actually a neat hack, but it's not the look I want there. Rototiller, come on. There we go. Maybe, though, instead of square plants, it should be like some adorable hedges or healthy hedges, damp hedges. I think something different is going to help break up the visual monotony of just having nothing but these robust flowers, which I do really like them. I think that works, and I think it's going to work even better once we get these other planters out of the way. The building in this game is just so crazy, like the things that you're able to do in it. So this square. It wouldn't make sense for it to be this type of concrete, because why would that extend over one unit? But then also this brick doesn't extend here, nor should it, because that doesn't match the way I've been doing everything. So if I just leave it as grass and put a hedge on top of it, is it even going to be obvious that... Oops, what type of terrain is under it? Let's see. That's the correct answer. I think I definitely like that better than what I had going before. The other thing I've been thinking about that I'm not sure if it would be too busy or not. I mean, I won't say it. We'll just grab it and see. And we've already got a lot going on up here with the Pikachu fountain and the waterfalls behind it and the Chanseys up there. But the left side of it feels a little light, like it's too heavily weighted to the right with those Chanseys. So I've been thinking about this space right here and if it's worth doing anything with. I specifically had an idea, something along the lines of like... That looks actually way better than I even thought it would. We're rolling with that for sure. All right, I need to remember that one. Strength rocks with statues on top of them. I've been wondering what I should do with strength rocks. I'm like, these are neat items, but like, what would I possibly want to build with it? I think that probably makes more sense there than like exhibition stands or museum pedestals. Yeah, so we've got like that kind of going through the whole build there with the Pokeballs on the streetlights as well. I guess the next question that leads from that one would be, do we continue that motif along here in any fashion? Like maybe get rid of that flower and that flower. Probably have to make these edges through there to make it symmetrical. And I think I had one more of those strength rocks. Maybe I'm tripping. Okay, yeah. I also know where to get more. And I would put one there next to the Chansey, perhaps. It's kind of blocked. I forgot. I think that to pick this up, you might have to break it. Yeah, I would want it to be lower. No, I think you just find those. I think maybe Magnemite, which I don't have yet, is the only way to pick them up, and then once you throw them down, they're down. Yeah, okay, that's something. It's kind of a weird spot for it, but like maybe his view won't be impeded by that roof anymore. So either way, we are stuck with that strength rock there until I unlock Magnemite, so I need to find some place for it to be. That's awkward, and it threw off the symmetry, huh? The ones on the left are awesome. That one's like not quite in the right spot. I don't think that like gravity works in this game. I think when it gets to the end of a ledge, that's as far as it can be pushed. Yeah. What to do? Alright, this is silly. It's one of the things I love about this game, though, is that like any sort of game with this many systems, sometimes you just accidentally get into some hijinks, and then you have to be like, or you get into some jams, then you have to get up some hijinks to get out of them. We're just gonna hide this for now. I really can't believe that they let you do that, put this down with no way to pick it back up. I mean, I should have thought about it. I mean, I think they taught me that mechanic earlier, that these can't be picked up. I just had never put two and two together with once I had actually like picked some up as like items to play with, or maybe gotten them in a shop or something is how I got them. All right, you go away. Well, that's another fun way to use these, is like accents in construction, because you can just plug them in place of blocks. I also love how often that happens, that you'll accidentally discover something and like, it's not what I was trying to do, not what I was trying to figure out right now, but that will certainly come into play in a later build, using the strength rock as part of a building. One thing that could be on the list for tonight is like pushing towards the end of the game. I think I've only got a handful of quests to do in the Skylands. I mean, I've got a handful of quests to do everywhere, but as far as like, I think what I need to do to get Magnemite or whatever. I've also been slowly just starting to push Pallet Town along and not build anything permanent there, but just get Pokemon to spawn in and work on getting the environment level up there, because there are some things in the PC shop from Pallet Town that I want to get that are tied to the level. Sorry that I'm just blabbing right now as we're running around the town doing busy work, but I really do want to give a chance for some viewers to show up before we really get into the building and stuff here. Actually, we'll go for it. So the general plan here is this is going to be like a restaurant with like a deck on top. And I think that we're going to make this pond filled in over here just to be able to make this restaurant bigger, to give us more indoor space, even though it is going to be a little tight in here, but we should be able to make it work real nice. And then you're going to be able to get up to the deck from, I think, back here, as well as down to the deck from up there. And then we'll have like the front facade of the restaurant here. I've got a couple of other little ideas too, but a big part of this for me is kind of like figuring things out as I go. We also need to get Gyarados out of here because he's living right there at the moment. But that's easy enough to do because we can just pop up some duckweed here real quick and make a 4 duckweed habitat and move him there. All right, move in right there, Gyarados. Yep. Oops. I was just kidding. You can. I was kidding about kidding. Okay, so Gyarados has been moved. So the first thing we need to start with, I guess, is getting rid of this section of pond. Which first would include getting rid of this rock, even though I think it's going to be covered. So my brain works better with a blank canvas. Also, if we end up doing a basement to the tavern, which we may. Actually, yeah. That'll be a cool part of the build. And conceptually, that's a really tall retaining wall. I don't think the house on top is going to have a basement, or at the very least, this is road and bridge. So like the basement for this building could go underneath all of that and wouldn't be interfering with anything. You'd actually have like a big banquet hall down in the lower level or something. All right, getting ahead of myself. Ideas just pop into my head nonstop as I play this game. and I execute on like 5% of them is all I have time for. But I mean, I feel like the results speak for themselves. I mean, it's not my job to say how good my own stuff looks, but I'm making it to please myself, and to my eyes, it looks really good. Okay. I want to take this brick back. It's because this is actually a resource that I use all over the city. And let's just fill that in with... Let's do one layer of grass, because I'm not sure that we're going to come all the way out to the edge with the building. I think it might look a little awkward. And then from there, I'll just lay down some garbage soil just to be like, hey, that's where our foundation's going. It's another big piece of advice I have for building is like if you struggle with like picturing things in 3D as you... Sorry, my dog just drank from his water bowl and came and shook in my face. That was awesome. Okay, like if you struggle to like visualize in 3D like in your brain before you start building, you can very easily like mark off foundation marks on the ground using different types of soil, and then like go to where your corners of your building are, and you'll build pillars up, and then you can kind of start to decide where rooms go from there. There's ways to build really cool looking buildings without knowing what you're doing before you get started. I think we're also going to need to change out the type of floor we're using up there, because I don't have the recipe for the one that I was using, and it didn't go as far as I thought it would. Alright, so that's that. And that would be wooden wall across. Did I decide I'm just doing straight wooden wall, or on the corners do I have pillars? On the corners I'm doing pillars. So wooden wall would start here. How did I do this? I think I just straight up did pillar bottom, middle top. Might have to... Oop, that's... Oh, that's right, I painted some of those because I was trying something. Okay. Then upper. I think I have these recipes, which is good because I'm going to need to make more. Get to the edge of the stuff that I've built, like everything out that way is real pretty, and then you get to here, it's just like, oof. I'm so happy with how this bridge turned out. Again, that was what we mostly did on last night's stream, was working on covering that bridge. Alright, so getting up here. Do an upper pillar. Oops. Didn't go out far enough. Let's make our lives easier getting back up here for a minute. Okay. Oops, I should have gotten rid of all of those first. Okay. Wooden pillar upper. I think we'll probably use cobblestone floors there in place of I think that can be, oops, stone. It would look fine up there. Corners, I know I want to be pillars. Should be all wooden wall across here. You know what? I need to get Scyther chopping lumber. I know that we're low. We're gonna need it to make some of this stuff, so may as well get him going on it while we work with the materials that we currently have. Yeah, small log. Yeah, I'm down to 12 lumber. That's not going to get us very far. Scyther lives up here. Eventually I'm going to build a real house up here, not just one of the prefabs, but for now it's just one of the prefabs. All right, Scyther buddy, more logs. It's the same thing as always. Oh. Don't know how I did that, but sure. Or maybe he asked for them. He probably had asked for wildflowers. $10 logs for 50 lumber, please. And that should get us through the build. Only got like a 40% idea in my head of what I want this to look like. We'll just have to see. I haven't really built any like commercial buildings yet. It's mostly been houses, fountains, fortress. We have to think about which assets screams this is a commercial building and not just a log cabin that somebody's living in. Also, sometimes I go into things with much more of a plan with like the dimensions of a building and like cool features for being like split level or something. But also sometimes I just start with a box, which is what we're doing now. We're building a box. All right, a wooden wall. Probably gonna be about 50 cobblestone. One of each of the pillar sets here. Yeah, I had some of those middle pillars that were painted white because I was playing around with some roof techniques, experimenting over on Bleak Beach. I figured out some things. Still haven't quite figured out how to make the type of roof that I really want to see in this game, but I'm getting closer. Alright, lower. I'm doubting every step of this so far. I know I said that I thought it would look weird coming right up to the fountain's edge, but I think that that mountain buffer there might be enough. We'll see. Alright, then I need to change this up just a bit because it's going to be part of the path to get over there. Those were middle brick walls. Yeah, if you're only using the brick walls as brick walls, you're screwing up because each of the 3 sections of brick wall has a unique top face, and each one looks like a really cool type of concrete patio. Like the middle looks like this, the bottom, I believe, looks like that. Stairs. I think we want just good old-fashioned wooden stairs to match the wooden vibe here. Unless these stylish steps can be painted brown. I don't think that I have the stuff to do brown paint, but they could be made brown later. But we'll probably use the wooden stairs now regardless. I just want to see how these look as brown. I can figure out where Smear Guru is at because he's never in his house. Alright, gotta use a honey. Alright, Smear Guru, I've got something for you to paint, buddy. Not you, War Turtle. Alright, let's look at painting. Where did it go? Is red and green to make brown? I might be able to do it. I think that's much closer to the look that I want here compared to the open wood stairs. So I am gonna go grab my paints. Red and green are the 2 color berries that are defaults on my game. So that's good. I can make all the brown in the world. I think everybody gets the green berry, the lumberry, as one of their defaults, and then one of the others is random. And the other ones you got to go find on Dream Islands or for sale. Let's do... Let's do 8 of them. Oops. I think I only need to get Pallet Town up 1 more level to be able to craft those stairs. Okay. Did I give myself enough room here, or do we need to come out one more unit is the question. I think we're gonna need... Oh, that's ugly. Well... No, I think we can dress it up and it'll look good. And yeah... kind of messed up there, except... maybe not. What if the stairs wrap around the front of the building? Those aren't the painted ones. Like... It's probably not how this is gonna go. But maybe. Actually, that should be a lower pillar, probably. Sorry, I was too far away from the mic. That's my bad. Alright, so lower pillar down there. Sorry, I talk less when the build is challenging my brain. A lot of times building goes smoothly, but this one, I've like got half an idea. I'm also second guessing my own ideas. No, this is gonna work. And that would be the upper stone pillar. I think we want to do that. Oh, that looks so crazy, but I need to see it all dressed up to make up my mind. Starting to make a little more sense, maybe. Point to that so that we can fence it in. I just really don't like open staircases in this game. Like, Pokemon are gonna fall off of that. And I guess it needs to go one more unit over. What am I using there? Upper pillar, but that can be, yeah, they both gotta be upper pillar, so that's exposed. Actually, I've got some ideas now how this is gonna pull together. Question is, do we leave that open with these supports, or do we just like close that in? Either way, door is gonna go here out of more or less necessity at this point. Then we should also have a door over here. Right there. Okay, this is coming together in my head. This is gonna be cool. It's probably gonna look really weird as I go, but I know how this is gonna work. Yeah, that's what I want. Gyarados. Those need to be wood wall, even though that makes it consistent with the pillars on the other side. It's gonna look awkward here with the opposite sides of the door being made of something different. I always start with symmetry as a default, like having the wood trim on the bottom of every corner until there's a compelling reason for it to not be that way. And then you make the change. And in this case, it's more important to have the door be symmetrical on each side of the door frame as opposed to the building being symmetrical, especially since you never view the whole building at once, but you always view the whole door at once. That's just kind of my general thought process. And I think we just want a large wooden door for that because we're looking for a really rustic look here. Like, a modern door could work. 2 rustic doors could work. Ugh, we're just gonna look at every damn door, aren't we? I'm pretty sure I just don't want it to be that big, like iron door that we have. Automatic doors could be funny though. I think I've got one set of those that I found, and I haven't tried them anywhere yet. Damn it, we should also try glass doors. Alright, we're gonna try all the doors, guys. I was so sure that the wood door was the answer. Where did all the doors go? There we go. I should really like clean up my inventory before I start doing this stuff. I think that's a little bit too much just like, what is this place, you know? Of course, we're gonna find a way to dress it up with signage and such. Yeah, I don't know about that, guys. That's awesome, but the look is not right. I like that those become swinging doors. I think those are the winners so far. That would just look awkward. That would go up to the damn roof. That one's too big. Actually, that looks That's probably the ticket. All right, let's see if I have anything that can make the outside of this look more like a place of commerce. I mean, I know awning obviously is a strong option there, especially if we paint the awning with some patterns. Also, like, do we have any sort of signage or anything? Just don't have much like that yet. Well, I mean, there's the menu board. There's that. What did I pick up if it wasn't the menu board? Am I tripping? I mean, I know that went down there, but I picked up something else first. My inventory is so full. I was confusing myself all over the place. A sign. I just picked up a regular sign. Okay. String lights. That immediately helps. That immediately says, hey, you can get some sort of, you can purchase things here. I think that's probably where that needs to go. This area isn't totally powered yet. That's fine. That's all of my string lights, but we're gonna go search for Poke Metal for probably a lot of the details to finish this place up, including these wall tables. We use so many of the wall tables. Alright, I was nervous there for a minute about this, but this build's coming together slowly. Alright, clean that nonsense up. I think, just for the sake of space, we can have the walls in here be retaining wall on 2 sides. And that'll be a unique vibe for the inside of the restaurant anyways. And we were gonna do a basement. Will that be the start of the stairs to the basement? Here. Be like so no one falls down. And we might put like a bread oven or something here to kind of signify, make like a kitchen area and put all the seating down in the basement, as well as obviously up here. That's a little tight coming out and going up the stairs, but it's fine. So there's no other real alternative to put the stairs there, because then we would lose our closed-inness of it. And like I said, I've got a weird thing about open-faced stairs in this game. I've also got a thing about single-wide stairs, but we're making use of tight space here, so we're gonna have to compromise on that. There's some places that I've built staircases that are like 5 sets of stairs wide. Depending on what we get done tonight and how late I feel like streaming, depends how well this coffee works. After we finish this up and after we do our mining for materials and a couple of other small builds, we might get to work on some of the giant marble fortress, like the last parts of that need worked on. That's been the most intimidating project to me, is wrapping that up, because it's some like engineering type stuff that needs to go on there. Like, I really need to figure out in a 3D space how to wrap staircases down around the corner of that building, and it also connects to a big bridge across. That's getting kind of ahead of things. We gotta finish up our restaurant. I guess 50 cobblestone was not in fact enough. I never learned my lesson to count how many materials I need to grab. Okay, good. Sorry, I wasn't sure if my dogs are getting into something or if I'm imagining things. I think I'm imagining things. Surely that can't be all of my wood fence. Not even close. A long time ago, I just knew I was going to need a bunch of wooden fence, and it was early game when I didn't have another good use of lumber. I was like, I know later lumber is going to be more scarce, and I'll regret not doing this. And so I just made like 10 full stacks of wooden fence. Charlie, be quiet, buddy. sorry, the dog wants off the bed. He's too small to do it himself. I'll be right back, like 10 seconds. What's you barking at, buddy? Okay, what did I do? I turned off my TV. There we go. Okay. So that's a big start. I think I want to have the stairs down from over here so that we can have those wall tables wrap around the corner. If they wrap around, I'm not sure whether or not they do corners and how well they do corners. Like if I put it there, will it just start a new one if I had a third? Or would it actually make a unique piece that has a corner? Different pieces behave different ways, you know? But I do believe that one might cost rare Pokemetal. So it might finally be time to go grind some Pokemetal. Got 10 regular Pokemetal. Did I spend all of my rare? One rare Pokemetal. That's not going to get the job done. But let's go take a look at what it costs first. Once upon a time, I knew what it costs because I actually 3D printed those. I could also just steal the ones from the Pokemart, put them back later. Oh, it must be normal Pokemetal. 4. Okay, so we'll make the 2 that we can. And then we'll go steal the 2 that are in the Pokemart. Alright, we're here to raid the Pokemart of their tables. I'll have to come back for those stools, or I think those are just industrial stools. I may even be able to make those. I may have a stash of those. But those are definitely the stools that I believe are going to look best with these tables. We also need to think about if green is the color we want for those doors. We'll probably go talk to Smeargle and see what a few of them look like. Alright, so what happens when they go around a corner? It does make a corner piece. That is dope. Okay. Alright, we're so in business with this build. And I guess 3D printing it makes more than one. I mean, it must. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, that's symmetrical. Let's go one more. I think it looks better longer on that side. Or should we make this a bar? Should we turn this around? I think it needs to connect to wall, but we can cheat it. Yeah, so let's is that Is that where I want it? No. Go in one more. That's where I want the tables to be. Oh, but I want them... I want the wall they're attached to be... Yeah. Okay. I may still be doing this wrong. This is one of those things that I know can be done, but it's like, am I approaching this correctly? Do we want it like that, or do we want it... Yeah. Alright, now what's that gonna look like once we get rid of these? Yeah, looks dumb. It just makes it look like a big long table with only 2 legs. But would it look like a bar if we like do something like this? Of course you can't do outer corners. Why? Wait though. What if I put something here? It's not gonna make an outer corner like I want, but it will come closer to looking correct. Or we could end up giving up on this bar idea out of wall-mounted tables. Alright, that looks good. And now... You can't possibly make an outer corner. You do make an outer corner. See, this game knows you can do this stuff. This game knows. Look, it even gave it, like, extra legs. We run out of lower pillars. Come on. We did. Alright, let's go put some things away. Checking that lumber from Scyther. Make some lower pillars. Oops, that doesn't go there. We're not doing brown paint anymore, so paint can go back. We know what type of stairs we're using, we know what type of doors we're using. I'm gonna hold on to those though, so we can go talk to Smear Guru and see what those look like. Is that all of those I have? No, I have one more. So we need 2 more of the... Why did that do that? It took away that beautiful outer corner thing that it did. Huh. That's interesting. Let me try something first. Alright, wall mounted table, you go there, there, there. Oops. we did that last time was by putting a block here. Then putting the wall-mounted table on. Then breaking this block. And now we have the corner pieces again. I guess the question is, if I get more of those tables and put them on here, is it going to undo it? But then we know either way that as long as we make that corner piece the last piece to spawn in, it should do what it needs to do. Alright, let's think about the stairs approach. Do we just want to come straight down? That makes the most sense and it's easy. What's this space like? We've got room to go one more over with it. Put this back. No, bottom. Thank you. What does this look like with wood? Makes more sense. Only had one of those on me, but another one can go there. And that'll light up this area at night, as well as provide some nice symmetry there, and make it how the stairs don't seem as awkward and like loose edge. Okay, getting somewhere here. See if I have those stools or if I'm gonna need to 3D print those too. Then I'm gonna need to cook if we're gonna go get cocoa metal. I just forgot what I even came for. Stools. Stools. Not building equipment. Furniture. Yeah, I think those are what they're called. Industrial chairs. I still have too much shit in my inventory. I'm running out of storage space, and I don't want to spend the stream managing storage, you know? Actually, because it's tight spacing there, we should probably have the bar go all the way down on this side and have the gap there just exist like that where the bartender gets in, you know? Where the... Yeah, I think that's decent. The other option would be to scooch it in one. And then she'd have a lane to get through. Actually, I do think I want to move it in one. That's fine. We've visualized it. We've seen that this works. We have a plan. This is a very freeform building. Alright, so we're gonna leave the gap there. Of course, we're still one short. Okay.
Jack and Chip, quit messing with each other.
Sorry, my dogs really love to misbehave when I stream. I want to see this at least semi-completed, so it's gonna be short one, or at least gonna be short one down there. And we take our counters again. There they are. Then we do this trick again. Why are they there? See, that has to be the last piece that goes in. It's goofy, but it's cool if that exists at all. Because you wouldn't even know that unless you started messing around with stuff that the game acts like you can't do.
What are you? Chip, knock that off, buddy.
Sorry, my dogs are really, really on one tonight. Should we just line them all the way up? I think, yeah, that gets the idea across that it's a bar. Okay, what else now? Actually, I have an idea for that section right there that's kind of goofy. You guys will have to bear with me on it. We'll get to that part of the build. Now let's look at like table settings and things of that nature. Like, do we have cups or... In paper party cups. I don't know about a table setting at a bar. Cleaning supplies could have a place. do want a different type of stool for the bartender to sit at. Maybe this. I think we can use these box sofas to make some things that look like booths down inside the restaurant too. Let's try the public seat and the pop art chair. Yeah, we've still got awnings to think about. Was I already carrying party cups? Why did those go somewhere else? Oh yes, I really was already carrying party cups. I think we are going to use the table setting just to mix it up visually. Oh yeah. We are getting somewhere here. It's too small. This reads more like a actual chair. I can get it where I want it to be. Jesus. Yeah, that looks good. And then we can put the cleaning supplies down behind the counter. Okay, starting to get somewhere here. Wish you could change the appearance of that a bit. Like that could look really well like a bar menu or something, but it's just too obviously not. Same with, you know, like the blackboard, I mean whiteboard. That makes sense. Darn. I was hoping I could set that down just as is. I know it's unidentified, but the unidentified ones look like a bottle. Maybe I can craft some stuff like this. I don't know, some of the detailing may need to come later as I find more items and materials. I mean, we've got mugs. Put some vases. There's party platters, but I don't love the look of them. There should probably be a sink behind the bar. I think I have a sink. I don't need to go crafting one. Ah, there we go. Alright, yeah, let's get a sink. I know this is where I would have put sinks. I know that I have sinks. At least I thought. sinks aren't outside. Maybe I've put all my sinks down places. All right, let's craft one. Music is so good in this game too. Where'd those decorative shelves go? Oops. Here they are. Still not sure about having like these blocks and the tables, but I just think that it looks kind of weird with the tables freestanding, like they don't have enough legs. But am I just overthinking it? That comes across less as a bar. This makes less sense if you think about it too hard, but it just visually reads as what it needs to. Yeah, now it's a bar again. Wild. Push this seat farther up so that we can do one more of those shelves. You can't see it. That makes sense. Cleaning supplies, where did you go? I think this and the sink should probably swap. Yes. Or should that go like above the sink? Can it go above the sink? Should it turn around? Yeah, that's it. We don't like a rug. I think we do want a rug. Okay. Got large, narrow, large, round, oblong, and soft matte. I think oblong and large, narrow are gonna be the two likely options. Also got something up in my house that we might go grab and repurpose for this build, depending on how ridiculous it looks or not. I mean, that fits very nicely size-wise. I think we'd want to get a different pattern painted on it for sure. This? Come on. Is an awkward size for the area. It's almost perfect. Like if it was one longer or one shorter, it would fit really, really well. But as is, it's going to be an awkward symmetry issue. We could just go with like small narrows at the bottoms. But I do have one other idea. A little bigger, it could be cool. It's just kind of odd. What about just a Pokeball rug at the bottom of the first step? I already stole these. That's silly. Are there any in here? Yeah, I'm taking your rug. It's extremely funny how much this game just like encourages you to be a thieving little bastard. Oops. Why would it let me put that there? Actually, I know why, because rugs don't have collision and neither do posters, and that's actually awesome about them. What do we think of that? It's a little weird. Where is that long oblong rug again? So that might be the right size with a different pattern to go right there and make sense. Or I think it would go there. That technically goes as far over as that rug. Yeah. So that keeps some symmetry in the situation. Still feels like it should be 1 unit longer, unfortunately. And I think that 2-unit rugs would look a little awkward. We might just have the 1 rug. That doesn't look right. That might end up making sense. We'll just go with the one for now. I'm getting way too hung up on like something that's going to be like a final detail sort of thing. Okay. Now we do need to grab paint again and go talk to Mr. Smear Guru. And we also want... Oh, maybe we need to make those. Okay. I just know that every cool design I'm gonna want to do here, he's gonna say that he needs black paint. Dude, why aren't you ever in your house, man? I'm like running out of honey because I need to use it every time I want him to paint. I thought it was gonna be smart bringing Smear Guru from Bleak Beach back to the house next to mine. But it's actually more convenient to just fast travel to Bleak Beach where he was. Oh, oops. Paint something for me, buddy. My awnings. All right. Where do you get cyan paint from? I found this pattern. I like it. Whoa, we're not making 42 of those. I guess I must have had awnings in my inventory. All right, let's try that one, as well as... as well as this one. That pattern looks really good on an awning. I don't want to think about door color till after we figure out which awning we like. Alright, I think these rope lights are coming down, at least for a second. I mean, that certainly gets the idea across that this is a place to come for food. Oh, there's just the fence up there, okay. But how does this one look? That one just also looks good. I mean, I think that one's a little classier, matches everything a little better. We're gonna roll with that for now. This is not strictly a food establishment. This is a classy tavern. Looks a little weird, like, because they're supposed to, like, be hanging from the bottom of something. But it works well enough. Plus the effect from a distance is going to be exactly what we want. Okay. Back to this. Those are lower pillars. We're just gonna do wood wall. Oop. No, Graveler, don't. Alright, for the sake of this working how we want it to work, it's just gonna be wood wall. I'm basically going to be undoing a build that I did earlier to make this work, but this is going to be a much cooler spot for it, I think. I promise y'all this will make sense here in a minute. Oh, is that all of my wood wall? It is. Okay, we need to go hit up Scyther for that lumber that we had him chop in. And I'm having a good time streaming this tonight, but the algorithm is not being so kind to us tonight. Last night we got a good handful of viewers, and tonight I'm chugging along and not getting much, but that's fine. Scyther. Or not come with me. Yeah, I need your lumber. Thanks, buddy. I know I've got to be one of the slower builders out there, but I don't care. You guys are gonna have to trust the plan here. Easy to go to. Oops. Yeah. I don't have any live viewers, but I'd be curious if anybody ends up watching the VOD if they can guess what's being done here. Not sure if it's gonna work, but we'll give it a shot. Actually, I think we may want what I'm doing here to be elevated. I think I'm trying to do too much, guys, but we'll see. No, this might work. I knew my low battery light was gonna come on at some point. Oops, I've got my Pro controller ready just in case. I'm 50-50 on whether this thing I'm doing here is going to work out or not. It's a little bit of an awkward space for it. Oops. It would be awkward if it was real life, what I'm doing here. But I think that with just like video game logic and the fact that with half of this stuff is just does it read like it should at first glance, you know? Should I get rid of all my stairs? I did, I'll just leave the blank for it. This might work. We could also just do this build twice. going with this is going to work. Those don't need to be part of it. We're gonna do tables down here. Possibly just wooden tables. Also, pop art's a good possibility. That needs to be turned green. Pop art looks good. Like 4 of those guys, and like, I like it. A little awkward to put seats around. That's fine. Actually, let's push the table. On that side, let's do a few of those. Alright, do I have utility poles on me? I do. Let's see about getting some power down to the stage and the rest of these rope lights. Like, what if I just... That's not too bad. It gets the job done. Let's put a brick of some sort down though, like a upper pillar. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Getting somewhere, getting somewhere, getting somewhere. Alright, so we need a few more string lights to go around. We're gonna need to make more of these pop art tables and modern, or whatever these chairs were called. go with that. It doesn't make sense, but you can't see what's under it, so. Sparkles. Where are they? Are they down here? They are. Beach parasol recipe. I have plans for that down the road. I actually have a really, really good idea for Bleak Beach, and what I'm gonna do with my build at large there. But I'm holding that one tight to my vest because I haven't heard or seen anyone else doing anything like this, and it's thematic and awesome. Fire out here was a nice touch. Maybe 3 tables and a fire. Charmander, buddy. Buddy. Yeah, let's go, buddy. I'd like you to light this, please, dude. At this point, though, the tree is adding too much. We do need to just stick the banner back down there. Yup. Yup. That should be a wooden wall. I'll fix that when we make more wooden wall, but for now this is important to fix while I'm thinking about it. Just gonna go up one higher there. It's for visual interest. So we're gonna do wooden wall and upper pillar, which we might be out of. Oh, there we go. Actually, it might make sense to just do that on there, or I think it's mostly fine how it is. I think this one might also need to turn into that. Oh, I have more wooden wall. I thought I had run out for some reason. I think we just need a post there. Post or a vertical log. Vertical log might be fun. It might just look a little out of place, but we're gonna give it a shot. What are you doing down there, fencing? As well as wooden posts and wooden enclosures. Let's give you a leg right there. I think I like that best. Actually, this is just gonna make for a nice accent. go across the front too? Like, why not? It's useless space, and I think that this is just looking a little bit sharper. Leave that side open maybe, just because for structural integrity, you can see the supports. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, we need to get Pokemetal now, but to get Pokemetal, we need to cook. So I'm gonna go up here and pick beans before I forget to pick beans. Then I'm going to help my dog back up onto his bed. We also might take like a 10-minute break. I'll go hang out in my clubhouse that has the better music playing during the break. But yeah, I gotta let my dog out and try take care of a couple of other things. Probably be about a 10-minute break, and then we'll come back for Dream Island and finishing up the build. Sorry, I'm getting a away screen ready. Should have had this prepared before stream, but I didn't think I was doing a break, but... Probably gonna switch over to the Pro controller too, install while I'm on break. Let me... I had my mic turned down. Okay. We're back for real now with the mic up. Wow. I hope nobody clicks off on the VOD for that. But now we're back in action. I think people can figure out that all I was doing was sorting my inventory anyways, which is not all that exciting. But we're gonna go to Dream Island here in a second and get the materials that we need to continue on. I was saying that one of my dogs is scratching around back there. Then I realized that I was on mute. And I'm glad I realized I was on mute because I would have been really upset at myself if I had done the whole second half of this stream on mute. Oh, fuck. I like to keep fence on me. I mean, yeah, we've got 2 full pages. We're good. We want to go upstairs though to cook. I keep forgetting to bring my frying pan over to the new house. Heard that potatoes make extra powerful burgers. Made 5 potato hamburger steaks. Powers up Rock Smash a lot when eaten. Alright, I've already been to my Dream Island tonight, so there's not a lot exciting there. We're just going for some Pokemetal. Which if you haven't seen... Oh my god. If you haven't seen the easy way to get Pokemetal, I'll try and demonstrate it. So this works best at the Dragonite Islands with the Dragonite doll. But honestly, you can find these deposits on most islands, but they're all over the place here. I don't know why I drop frames all the time streaming on YouTube. When I stream on Twitch, I have like 0 connection issues. I supposedly have a higher bitrate available to me on YouTube. Okay, so basically you want to go to a spot like this where the sand meets the water. I'm just moving all the way over here because I already did it over there earlier. And then you want to go down until you hit that crystal stuff, right? And then you just eat this so it goes faster. Just start digging out towards where the water is. There's one Pokemetal deposit, but yeah, around here it starts getting crazier. Not running into it there, but it's usually in groupings, so we'll stick with where we found it here. Now we use Grappler. Getting a fair amount, but there we go. Oh, there goes the water. Oh, that's the edge of the map, so it doesn't flow, actually. Alright, we're gonna pick up a bunch of junk, but we also probably just got, like, a bunch of Pokemetal doing this. This is not even my best attempt at it, because we didn't really find a huge vein of it. You can find spots where it's nothing but Pokemetal. Well, it's a fair bit, though. $40 and 3 rare ones. We can do better. Oops. And you just drop the stuff that you don't need. Roll Graveler back up, and we'll go searching for more. Yep, there we go. Yeah, this is better deposits out here. Still not the best. I mean, I know that I'm rolling over the top of some, but it doesn't go much lower than that. We might try the other side of the map. You want to clean up as you go, because like after 500 or so of these individual blocks spawn on the ground, it'll start getting rid of them, which is not what we want. All right, let's just go all the way across the map as Graveler and see what happens. Not really finding it. Again, though, gotta clean up our mess so that we don't despawn anything. Now I am just gonna fly to a different part of the map. Once we get back to town and start smelting all this Pokemetal, I'll probably time skip to nighttime, since it should be nighttime anyways. I'm sort of judicious with when I time skip or not when I'm playing on my own. I do it here and there, but on stream, I think it's important to keep things interesting. And if I'm trying to do a build stream, I'm gonna try and keep it mostly building, which means we're not gonna sit around and wait for Pokemon to smelt and things like that. I just think that it makes a better stream for you guys if we don't do that. My mic is a little quiet. There we go. Of course, I dropped all of my garbage blocks. I don't use that cloth wall for anything. Alright, let's fly to the total other side of the island and try the Pokemetal trick. Yeah, this looks like the perfect spot for it. Where'd that food go? Right off the bat, we're hitting Pokemetal. Yeah, see, these are the real veins of it. Map edge getting foggy on us. Best veins are usually right by where you start on the island, but I already cleared that out earlier. Alright, I think this is gonna get us enough poke metal for what I'm trying to accomplish on tonight's stream. I think tomorrow off stream I'm gonna do this for a long time and just grind like 1,000 regular poke metal and like as much rare as I get in that process. Where did it all go? Did I drop it? Oh, there we go. 83 and 7 rare. That's still just not the best haul, but it gets the job done. Oh yeah, we're going back to town. Yeah, Drifted, we're heading back. Plus, at nighttime, we can see how tonight's build looks in different lighting and where we need to add lighting if we need to take some lighting away. If anyone's paying attention, yes, I'm alternating Diet Coke and coffee. I actually like Coke and coffee together. There's been an Asian product called, I don't know what they call it over there, but it's Coca-Cola and coffee. For ages, it's a popular drink. Twice in America, they've tried to bring it over under the name Coca-Cola Black. And unfortunately, Americans aren't about Coke and coffee. But try it sometime. It's extremely good. Charmander, I got a job for you, buddy. Start doing your thing, bud. Dude. There you go, man. All right, now let's skip the time forward. Don't go anywhere, Charmander. You gotta do the rare ones, too. Alright, bud. Continue your work. Thank you. Those don't have power, which is frustrating. But I think that we can probably just bring power straight across here with a It's not the right block type, but there we go. All right, you guys ready for this? Now our bridge is turned on. Bridge looks really awkward with all these lights during the day. That I gotta go turn on manually because it's unfortunately like one space too far away from the switches. So we need to print some string lights. I need to photograph this table and chairs. Pop art table. Public seat. I think I might have actually gotten a pop art table recipe. Let's check on that before I go spending poke metal on it. Furniture. No, I'm tripping. I don't have pop art anything. Oh, and there goes the controller. Like I said, I've got backup. Sorry, 1 second. Well, I thought I had my backup controller charging, but apparently maybe not. Yeah, cooperate long enough for me to fix the controllers. It's just using this the other day. I don't know why it wouldn't connect. Oop. Oh, this would be a shame. Oops. I just... Oops. Okay, change script / order. There we go. This feels so different from the Joy-Cons. The old Pro controller, not the Switch 2 Pro controller. These sticks feel crazy loose. Okay, string lights are most important. We're just gonna be running through Pokemetal doing this. Okay, pop art table. Damn, Jesus. Need 2 of those. Yes, please. And public seats. What do you cost? 10. I like the look though. Alright, there's all that Pokemetal. That quick. Oh well, that's what it's there for, right? It's just wild. Come back with 100 Pokemetal and think we're good for a minute, but I guess we're using expensive furniture. I hope I made enough rope lights. Ah. Come on. Adapting to this other controller. Like I do everything out of muscle memory at this point, and it's throwing me off just a bit. But... Ah. What are you hanging on? You can just hang these in the air? No. Why did it let me do that? There we go, that's what we want. That's right, they can't go around corners, but that's fine. I don't think we really need them to. Oh. Why am I going down the stairs? I should be hanging it from here. Oh, I really do not like the Pro Controller for this game. Wasn't enough. And we've used all of our Pokemetal on this other furniture. I'm gonna get my Joy-Cons charging so that maybe here in a little bit longer into the stream I can switch over to them. Like I said, I just have like muscle memory at this point for placing items in this game on the Joy-Con, and then I go and like try and press things here, and like I'm not pressing the stick far enough. Alright, pop art tables. We're gonna go with that for now, although they're gonna get... Well, that's the stair side. But these two tables are gonna get chairs here as well. Why'd the fire go out? It probably rained. Let's see here, Charmander's busy, but... Uh-oh, empty house? Where did I move him to? Oh well, I'll just go through other places that I know that I have fire Pokemon. Yeah, let's go, man. Got your brother Charmander working on something, so I need your help. This build is getting so big. Takes a good minute just to run back and forth. That's cool though. How many games let you build something this big, you know? Like, I'm constructing an environment here that, like, you could place a game inside of. Thank you, Charmeleon. You can go home and go sleep now. I believe we're gonna be just short. Wait. Oh my god. We had the exact amount of Pokemetal that we needed to... That's crazy. Come on, cooperate with me. All right, we did it. Let's go get our other double street lamp. Am I out of those? No, they're just chilling right here. Is there any other lights that would make sense out there in a bar? Should we put the disco ball on the stage? I think we probably should. I'll put it someplace that makes sense. That's not the right spot. Maybe the actual corner, back corner. Yep, that's the spot. Is Drifloon using it? Drifloon is. Drifloon's singing on stage. Or was he just happy that I placed the... No, I think Drifloon was just happy that I placed the item and was letting out the cheerful music notes. That's funny. I know that, like, some of the Pokemon will get on the stage and actually perform. Like, the ones that have hype, I think, for the most part. But... I think that's pretty good. Now we gotta do the inside. Or at least prep the inside. Alright, so... obviously lights are gonna be needed in here. I've definitely not used this much power with any other build. But like I said, this is the first like commercial building. Trust me, this is gonna make sense here. Shit. I forgot something. But I do have a plan here. Try stone steps. I'll make some more stone steps. Assuming I'm not out of stone. No, okay. Get 10 stone steps. Have more cobblestone, which is perfect. Need more diagonal wood flooring than that. Can I make it? Yep. I see we got a viewer popped in. If you're still around by the time I'm seeing this, because there is a delay on YouTube, thanks for popping by. We've been cracking along on this tavern build here. Outdoor tavern build. We got the outside done, and now the entire interior is going to be down the basement, and so we're getting that going. I'm also super stoked with what we've been able to pull off tonight, because I didn't have a strong plan at all heading into this, aside from the fact that this was going to be a tavern, and it's definitely using some different materials for the build than I've used before. Alright, that's where the 4 cobblestone go. That is our landing on the stairs. Ran into this problem before where try and do that. No, it'll work because of the fact that we have the stage. Oh yeah. Oops. Shit. All right. And is that how low we want the basement to be? That's the question. Come on. I think probably, yeah. I don't want to go underwater. That wouldn't make sense. So we've got from the landing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spaces before we hit water. So from the landing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, there's our water. There is the edge of the stage. So we don't want to go that far. I think. Oops. We might want to go down a little lower. This will be another landing. I'll replace it with cobblestone later. Right now I just need to think about what I'm doing here. Camera's a mess right now. Okay, now I think I'm at the level I want to be. Yeah. Come on, stop breaking things on accident. Alright, now how many steps until I'm back there? And from the landing it was 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Five, 6. Now if I tunnel that way, oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Oh, but if I count back, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, landing. Okay, so that's the wall of the basement. This is where we get down here. We need to leave, oops, at least one more space. The stream's being dumb again, but I think it's gonna come right back. Figured out that that's a YouTube problem, not anything on my end problem. This is turning into a mess fast. Okay. Yeah, see, I'm down underneath my road. But I think that's a false road. I think that's the old road that I buried. So I don't have a road running this direction anymore. Yeah, there's the actual ground level now. So we do have room to put our ceiling. Where am I trying to go? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, if I tunnel this way, it should meet up. Yes. Digging underground hurts my head, but it's vital to making cool builds. Okay. Stop it, man. It might be my OBS that's messing up and not YouTube. Having big CPU spikes whenever stream goes weird. I think we're mostly in good shape here. I've dug down a touch too far because I actually want the ceiling to be that high, so I think I want to go one higher, which means we may need to like lay a false floor to make that happen. Ceiling's probably not going to be a big focus for tonight's build, though. I just want to get the walls in and start moving furniture down here. Stop it. Okay, really getting somewhere now. I think that we have the footprint of the room about chiseled out here. Patch that. So next thing we do is put in the walls. I just want to use this like I've been using for a lot of foundations down here. One of these days, people are going to catch on to what I'm building here. We're going to get a good community going here on this channel, streaming Pokopia and building some of the coolest things that anybody's building. Everyone who's seen it thinks so, but the YouTube algorithm doesn't yet know. Last night was a good time, though. I did end up with a small handful of good viewers that were nice and chatty the whole time. I understand though that while I'm still a small streamer starting out, not every night's going to be a huge winner, and I just need to make sure to do entertaining streams so that anybody who does pop by has a good time. Anybody who watches the VOD later might pop into a future live stream, and one of these nights we'll get blessed by the algorithm, or just have some nice chill nights like last night where we've got a few viewers. Wonder what I'm gonna do about power down here. Might just give it its own generator because it looks like a furnace or something, you know? So I know the power from up on ground level is not reaching down here. That's just not a possibility. All right, back to this. God, I don't know if anyone watches college basketball, but I'm unfortunately a Mizzou fan, and like clockwork, we've embarrassed the hell out of ourselves tonight. I mean, we could make the room just 3 tall instead of 4 down here. I want it 4 tall. We're gonna have to lay down a false floor to knock that out, and then it's fine though. It is worth it. We gotta do it right. What is this that I'm using? Lined stone flooring. I need to make some more of that for sure. I think that's my only stack of it. No, I'd have run out by now if it was, right? Cool, I must have had more. Not that much more of it. All right, so we need lined stone flooring. Just do a stack of it. I am very proud of myself for following through on streaming tonight. I have a very poor track record at streaming when I say I'm going to. I'm saying this is the start of the big push to actually get viewership and to do this consistently. I've got real plan for the channel at this point. And I'm proud of myself at this point for crossing the 3-hour mark on this stream. I don't think that I've done that before. And I know that a lot of popular streamers will go for like 8 hours at a time, and I need to get to the point where I can do that.
Dogs, what are you getting into? You're
just knocking stuff over on accident. You're fine. Yeesh. Okay, can that go away? We need some clearance here. Oop. Yeah. Okay. As much as I like breaking things with one punch with this super powered up rock smash, it also really sucks to accidentally break things in one punch. That's right, that has to stay, otherwise we get a weird gap. But we do want to make that stone. Oh, come on. Sorry that I'm being quiet. This part makes me think. I think this is correct. Yeah. Let's pick these stairs up to do this real quick. I'm so sorry for being quiet, but I'm sure it's interesting enough to watch me do this if you're into the building at all. But this is like testing the 2 in the morning spatial reasoning capabilities of my brain. stairs go back. Not there. This wall next. Like, oh yeah, I'll make a basement. That'll be no problem. I mean, I made a few, but like, it's always surprising how much work it ends up being. Alright, that should be what we need to fill in. Actually, the basement's not so bad to do. It's staircases that piss me off. We just put ordinary soil down there and on the inside of the corner. Go back to our limestone tile. Definitely finishing this build is the most we're going to be doing tonight. I can feel myself crashing a little bit, but I am going to keep pushing to make sure that we at least wrap up what we started on tonight. I'm not like falling asleep yet or anything. I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm closer to bedtime than I was imagining. All right, so make the ceiling later. The floor is next. Probably I'm going to do diagonal wooden flooring down here. I like the look of it, and I think it matches like the look you'd see on the inside of a tavern, kind of like a parquet flooring sort of deal. It's starting to look like a basement. Need to think about lighting down here. I might do fluorescent lights just because they're bright and we're underground. That's also kind of a weird vibe for tavern. We'll see. Stupid thing is I gotta lay a fake floor on top of this to reach where the ceiling needs to go. Alright, we need more diagonal wooden flooring. So yeah, we can't reach 5 high, unfortunately. Well, I'm gonna do part of that before we go make more flooring. Doing it all in one go is gonna be really tedious for me, but if I do it a bit at a time, it feels better. Okay. Starting to get somewhere. I also need to think about like what do we want to use for the ceiling down here? Probably just wooden flooring. Just make it look like a wood ceiling. It's really obnoxious that I dug too deep and have to do this to put the ceiling in, but you know, it is what it is. Alright, we'll run and grab the stuff that we need for this build so that anybody who just tuned in can see what it is that we're building down here. This is the basement / indoor dining level of this diner, tavern, the outdoor stage, and deck up here with the bar that ties into this fountain complex down here in this patio. But basically this building is what we've been hammering away on tonight, and we're working on the basement now. So I need diagonal wooden flooring to finish the floor. Oops. Probably like another 50 pieces of it. Yeah, I love the Pikachu fountain. I love the way I was able to tie it in. That was a little bit of stuff I had worked on off stream, but yeah, tonight we're working on a tavern. Let's see here. It's wooden flooring, right? Yeah, wooden flooring. God, and if it took that many to do the floor, it's going to take that many to do the ceiling. But yeah, I think it ties together the look of the bridge and everything, and like really starts to tie into our Pikachu fountain complex with the Chansey statues, and like this corner, we're starting to get a very finished 360-degree view. I mean, we've got a very open town square, but so here you say very nice. You're organizing. You got to the point of taking physical notes to help with making habitats. Yeah, this game has so much to remember. Like, I recently started moving some Pokemon into setting up habitats in Pallet Town to get some Pokemon out there, just because I realized that the Pokemon Center PC has a lot of important unlocks. That's exactly the Pokemon I figured would do this. So I just need to find the electric guitars, which I haven't yet. Oops. I forgot to grab lights, but we don't have a way to get power down here yet anyways. Yeah, I think some of the habitats you're definitely not meant to be able to like obtain easily without time travel or going to Cloud Islands and taking pictures. Like if you're just naturally waiting to get every item in the game to hit every habitat, I think you'd be able to play for a very, very long time just off of that, which is good. I time skip here and there too, but I also don't have my online subscription active right now, so I haven't been able to go get anything from like people's Cloud Islands. But yeah, like I'll pretty much just time skip if like I need to go grind a certain resource for what I'm building, and the Dream Island I had already rolled for the day was not that one. Well, I'm not going to stop building for the day. I'm just going to roll my clock forward. I also skip the clock around a lot just because I like to test out lighting when I'm making these things to see how it looks at different times of day. Yeah, I've watched a couple of like YouTube videos of people touring the developer islands. Everything I've seen there looks nuts, just like big maximalist builds with like just the ridiculousness factor of it, and like some of the themed houses that they did for the Pokemon are very, very cool. That was still not enough. Jeez, okay. This is a big room. That means we're also not gonna have enough for the ceiling, but that's not a problem. Oh yeah, that needs to be a wall still. Yeah, every evolution got like its own like completely like bespoke habitat that was like perfect for it. But they're also really strong Pokemon for doing that sort of thing with, you know. I have an idea that I need to set up a habitat in my like smelting area for Armor Rouge because I've set it up to look like a smithing sort of area as well, and his habitat that he spawns in from is a suit of armor, so I think that that'll work really nicely. So far, I've just been decorating houses as nice as I can so that there's like a general comfort level for any Pokemon that ends up moving in there. But then I'm gonna go around once I get like a bunch of major projects finished, and that's when I'll like decide what house each Pokemon's actually going in. That's awesome. You're plus little mine and live in a playground house. I need to set up their habitat. I have the thing for it. That's the crazy thing about this game, is that like the list of things I want to do is like so long that it would take me a year at this point just to start to get to some things I've already thought of that I do definitely want to do. Yeah, if you didn't catch why I'm doing this, it's because I dug the basement too deep for where I want the ceiling, so I have to lay a false floor to knock out the ceiling. Actually, I could just do it with mouse mode. Wow. I haven't used mouse mode in so long, I'm not thinking. But also I'm using my Pro controller right now because the Joy-Cons died on us, so that's a moot point. Pretty darn happy with what I've been able to get done this stream, though. This is 2 nights in a row that I've been very productive on stream. So with mouse mode, you can like reach farther than you can without it. So you can like sit here with your rock smash and just like sit in the corner of the room and like just smash out everything. More units away than you're allowed to do otherwise. It's like once you're using mouse mode, your character doesn't have to be physically right in front of whatever you're trying to interact with. It's also just a little finicky in general though, because like it takes a second to understand that you're in mouse mode and you got to kind of aim the camera and the mouse, which is a little odd, but it has its places. I also like to just build this way sometimes because like it helps me a lot to conceptualize what I'm doing, like being physically in the space that I'm building. Alright, so we're gonna need more wood flooring, or yeah, more wood flooring, more diagonal wood flooring. We need lights. Yeah, I'm finally starting to get a feel for doing this stuff with the Pro Controller. When the Joy-Con died on me earlier in the stream and I switched to this, like, the stick sensitivity is just a little bit different and stuff like that, and I had gotten to the point of doing this all so muscle memory, and it just wasn't doing the right thing. I'd be like pressing the stick far enough to like move over a square if I was on the Joy-Con, but it would just do nothing here on this Pro Controller. I don't know why it's taken me an hour to carve out this basement. Nice, got Stratini. I have not been setting up Pokemon habitats for a while. I need to do some more of that. It's funny to me that there's a lot of people that like beat this game at like 30 hours in, and I'm at like 150 hours, and I've got like a quarter of the Pokedex done. So here I've got, yeah, only 127 registered. But I also like that means that I've got a lot of this game left to play. All right, one more trip up for lined stone flooring, diagonal stone, no, lined stone flooring, diagonal wood flooring, and regular wood flooring, and lights. I love that there's so, like, everybody can approach this game like super differently from each other, and like everyone has just as good of a time. It supports like whatever route through the game you want to push, and also like a lot of the things like power and stuff like that isn't really story gated. Like if you just go and find power poles before you do that whole quest and bring them back to the wastelands, you can just do power. No, not wooden wall. I've distracted myself. Sorry, let me lock in here. I made the lined stone flooring. I made the diagonal, so I need wooden flooring. Which is... There we go. All right, now some sort of lights down there. Yeah, I like that. It doesn't, for the most part, break the game if you do things out of order like that. I don't even have any good lights to bring down there. Just gonna bring some of these mushroom lamps so we can at least see. Alright, a few more pieces of floor. Yeah, I had a very, very rough concept for this elevated, for this tavern with an indoor space and a deck. But I had no real clue how I was gonna do it, and I'm very happy with what I did end up being able to do with it. If you didn't catch the beginning of the stream, it is worth going back and checking the VOD when you got some spare time and seeing how it all came together. So I'm seriously winging it this time. This is the first time that I've like heavily built with the like wooden wall pieces, and it's like a different aesthetic than I have done on the other stuff that I'm more comfortable with. Got home late from seeing Project Hail Mary, high key recommend. I don't even know what that is. Is that a movie? I needed more than 20 of those. What am I doing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. New Ryan Gosling movie, sci-fi about the Earth's sun dying, so he gets sucked into helping when he's a school teacher. Interesting. Both my parents were school teachers. There we go. Okay. Now we go make our last pieces of limestone tiling. I'm gonna set the mushroom lamps down so we can see a little bit. Tomorrow off stream, I'm gonna figure out how I'm getting power to this room. Like I said, I think we're gonna cheat / pretend a little bit and bring a generator down here and pretend that it's like a big wood burning stove. I think I would remember where it's at. I use this all over my town. Does that turn those off and on too? It does. It's fine. Just means I need to manually turn that back on after I do the switch. But it's important to me to have those the bridge lights on light switches, because they don't look right during the day when they're turned on. These look fine during the day turned on. Okay, somehow just building this basement has like taken longer than like making the actual interesting building above ground. Most of your Pokemon live in fences right now. The perk is that you have a bunch of sleeping Pokemon visible. Yeah, I want to do a mix of indoor and outdoor habitats. I have Gyarados living in the fountain out here, and that's probably gonna stay being the case, just because it's really cool seeing him just in and about these water features here, and he does use the heck out of all of it. See here, I used to have a big outdoor area set up for Hoot and Noctowl, but I had to knock it down to put the Poke Center in, and so I was like, where can I move these guys? And I've noticed that since I've been using this loft that only has ladders to get up there, that the only Pokemon that can get up here are Pokemon that can fly. And so I was like, hey, I'll have Hoot and Noctowl come live with me. They're not around right now, but what happens during the day is they end up sleeping on my hammock on the balcony, and like I couldn't have planned that. All right, let's see if there's anything I have that is definitely going down there. Yeah, I've got Hoo-Hoo, Noctowl, and Griftbloom for the same reason. I just need to move his habitat. And I was like, you can fly. You can come live in my house. But I've never appreciated that Pokemon at all before. But it is kind of fun just having a goofy purple floating balloon in my house with me. One Pokemon that I know is staying in his current residence is Palmo. He loves this house. Like, he's one of the only Pokemon that I've gotten up to like max satisfaction. Just very randomly, he likes it here, so he can stay. All right, so yeah, let's go over what I did. See if there's anything standing out that seems off or wrong. We've got like the outdoor courtyard. Got the stage here. Oh, I need to put stairs up to the stage. Might not have any more with me, which is fine. That's a small detail. I need to put floor down in here, but this is just gonna be like a reception area. Just put like a little desk. I don't think I have it in me to decorate this tonight, especially since almost every item that's going to go down here is going to use Pokemetal, and we burned through all of the Pokemetal earlier in the stream, decorating the outside of this thing. But I do really like how it looks from the outside, and how it does present to me as a more commercial building instead of, you know, a home. Yeah, then the balloon doors there, I really like it. come up onto the top. And we built a bar. Got it fairly detailed up, although I think there's probably a few more props that could go up here. Let me fly over to get the good view of this whole fountain complex that I've kind of been putting together, because it's all tied together now. It is crazy how many Pokemon I've never given a shit about, even a little bit in the past, that in this game I'm just like, oh, you're cool. Like, you're really cool. You're not someone I'd ever put on my team in Pokemon, but just judged in this context, you're a cool Pokemon. You know, like, I'm never, ever going to be excited to see Pidgey in another mainline Pokemon game. It's like, why would I be excited to see Pidgey again? But here I see Pidgey, I'm just like, oh, hell yeah, it's Pidgey. Like, why wouldn't Pidgey be here? He's an old friend. So yeah, it's been really neat. Yeah, this has been a big moment for me today, getting this all to finally tie it together, because it's been a lot of separate, disparate projects that anywhere you turn, there's been some massive unfinished area of town. But now, at least standing here in the town square, we've almost got a 360-degree view of completed projects. All right, I think that is going to do it for tonight, though. But I'm going to keep trying to push on this every day for a while. My intention is to get to the point where I can stream till about 4 a.m. Central Time. It's about 90 minutes longer from now. But I was a little tired tonight, which is why I logged on a little earlier. But, you know, I think 11 was a good time to start the stream up. So I'll be back on tomorrow night at 11. And I'll try to mostly do boring stuff off stream so that we can just do another awesome building stream like this. And I appreciate you hanging out for a second night in a row. Big time. It means more than you know, for real.